How's it going?
How are you? Hey, Jalen. Jalen, what is the messaging or message from you and leaders this week about trying to get the offense right, the consistency of it for a whole game?
I think it's a team message. It's a team message of how you respond. Your response is very important in anything you do, and so it's a question of how bad you want something, what you're willing to do to get it. Continue to come together to achieve the collective.
How do you view your role in helping to get the run game back? Is it just basically what you can do at the line when you see stuff, or obviously when you are involved in the design? How do you view your kind of involvement in that?
Just really going out there and executing the game plan as it is, and all of this is a collaboration from a standpoint of all the communication we have, the talking amongst players, coaches, and just seeing things as they go. And so as you go into a game, you've got different things that you can get and anticipate. Ultimately, it's going to fall down on the structure and identity that you have. And so we've got to continue to fine-tune some of those things so we can get them going. It's not a capability thing on all fronts, so we just got to keep pushing forward on it. And that's not just in the run game. That's in every aspect of our game.
Jalen, Kevin Byard and Gardner Johnson spent some time here. What are you seeing in their games now that they're with the Bears?
Well, they're playing great ball. I mean, Chauncey went over there and had an immediate impact, and Kevin he's been playing safety at a high level for a very long time. So they got a great defense. They complement their scheme well, and a really good defense. Really good defense. They've been very disruptive, so it's a great challenge for us.
They really go after the ball. I think they lead the NFL in takeaways. You guys lead the NFL in not giving it up.
Yeah.
Do you do anything different when you're facing a team like that that's so intent on stripping the ball and getting picks and that kind of thing?
No, you're going into it. It's good on good. Great defense, great mentality, great culture. It seems, and you see them flying around. So it's more about what you do, your fundamentals, your details, and really honing in on those things in a short week. So that's a great challenge for us.
You had a lot of different play callers in your career. I'd imagine each one on game day has a different personality or things that differentiate them. You now had Kevin for 3 months or whatever. Like, what have you learned about him on game day as a play caller?
I don't want to get into the particulars of that. I mean, I've had a lot of OCs. It's always been that change, and it's always been an exciting thing to get to learn it. So it's been a challenge that I've embraced. So they've all definitely been different. But we've always found a way in the end.
You guys are, against the Cowboys, obviously the passing game was working early and everything, but how important is it to still be multi-dimensional? And then is there a balance between trying to be that, but not, if the running game's not working, being able to go back to passing and everything?
What lens are we looking at?
The overall and general lens of, one thing is working during the course of a game, how important it is to still be able to do the other thing.
Well, I think, there's a way of looking at that from a even bigger perspective throughout the season. I've come up here, we've talked about a lot of different ways that we've won football games. And so I think what you're saying is important, obviously, to go into a game, find a flow, have an identity. But from a bigger point of view, nothing takes precedent over finding ways to win. And so that's the most important thing. And we've been able to win games in different ways. And so we've just got to settle in an identity. I think that's more important. Settle in an identity, commit to it, and then we fine-tune those things, knowing that, there's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs, but we're all confident in what we're doing. We're all confident in the direction we're going in, the structure that's in place to do that, and then we go out there and play.
Follow up with that. So can that identity change from game to game? Like one week it could be this, one week it could be that, you know what I mean?
Well, I'd say the identity has changed from game to game, and that's not a problem when you win. So, is that fair to say?
Well, like, what should that identity be? You're the quarterback, you get the ball every time. What would you like that identity of this offense to be?
The identity needs to be something everybody's in alignment in. So it's not a matter of how it looks. I don't care how it looks. I don't care who does it. I just like for it to get done. And I remember getting a question last. I think he's not here. He asked me the question about the past game taking a step after a loss. It's like, well, who cares? We didn't win, so nothing takes precedent over finding ways to win, and that's really what matters.
I've also heard you over the years say some things don't get you until they get you, right?
That still holds true. That still holds true. Definitely have to be better with our detail. There can be anything casual about what we do. We have to be very intentional and taking advantage of the opportunities we have. And I look at that last game, and it's a game where there were a lot of things that we could control that we didn't, and it needs to be eliminated. And there's a push to do so. Just got to keep pushing. Got to keep pushing.
There have been fewer design runs for you, but in the small sample size where they've been called, you've had some success. Are you open to increasing that number to help the run game get going?
Yeah, I'm always open. I'm open to doing whatever it takes to win. I just go out there and execute it as it's called, and go play the game. Go play the game. There's always a different plan, different strategy behind what KP has and what he wants to do going into a week. And so all of us is being all in, committed to that, and going out there and making it work and bringing it to light. I'm sorry.
Would you like to see more?
I mean, whatever works. It's my that's my disposition on it. That's my position on it.
Those negative plays that you were talking about, and the things that Nick says take no talent, they've been a little bit more consistent this year
Yeah.
than in years prior. Is that something that you can put your finger on, or is that just the collective?
I think it is a collective thing. It's not one individual. It's not one person. Everyone has to be locked in on that. You see it showing up in different spots. All phases. Everybody having a bit of those shortcomings, and so how I try and influence that is setting the right example and making sure I'm on my P's and Q's and doing the things that I can do, because anything I say, you only go far. It's about what I do. And so I want to lead by example in that type of way. Then I want to be able to have everyone echoing the same things of, hey, it's about the details. It's about our focus. It's about executing so we can have energy and great emotion and enthusiasm in what we do. And so, in a week like this, it's about preparing your best, learning from last time we had a short week and doubling down on that. Just gotta give more. Everything demands more, and so we all have to take that next step and raise our level of play, raise our level of focus, and continue to press forward. It's the same thing I said this past weekend in Dallas. It'll come. We just have to press forward.
Is part of this team's identity make fewer mistakes than the other team? I mean, if you look at this stretch of good football he played here, 4 turnovers before last week. He turned it over twice. You lose the game. Is that part of this team's identity that you guys want to make fewer mistakes than? I mean, everybody talks about what you're not doing in terms of yards and points, but is that part of this team's identity in your mind?
I think part of our identity is finding ways to win. And last week was a game that we didn't find a way, and it was a game that we didn't necessarily earn the right to win. And so now moving forward, okay, we felt that feeling. We've had, we have that as an opportunity to learn from, and so we're pressing forward, trying to learn from everything, build upon what we've experienced, and improve.
Take 2 more questions. 2 more.
Having guys chip the edge rushers on the other team, is that built into the play call, or is that a thing that you decide at the line of scrimmage?
That is by design coming in. So as installed throughout the play.
I've asked you about variations.
I wonder what makes you think of that.
You guys did it a little bit more
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, well, when you got really good players on the other side, you try and exhaust all ways to try and slow them down. So,
I've asked you variations of this question over the past few years, but I'm curious from your perspective. There's been an evolution in your mindset in that I distinctly recall back in 22, I'm not talking about winning. It was all about the standard. You guys were undefeated.
Yeah.
You said don't talk about the record.
Yeah.
Right? And then now it's like just find ways to win, find ways to win. Has that evolved from then to now?
say that again. Say it again.
I'm sorry, it was a long one.
Yeah.
Has your perspective evolved from don't focus on wins and losses, it's all about the standard for which you play,
Yeah.
to now where all that matters is finding a way to win?
I think it has evolved, and I think you can only expect a mentality to evolve over time. It's not necessarily. I'm not gonna say the mentality is supposed to change or stay the same. I'm saying that people change, throughout the course of time based upon their experiences. And so, when you're talking about the 22 season, the standard is always the standard, and it kind of brings me back to the notion I spoke on. Maybe since we're going down memory lane, 2023, where I talked about 1A and 1B, and look, you have a standard of excellence that you pursue, and you want to go perform at a high level. In the end, the collective, the thing that's bigger than all of us, is finding a way to win. And so that's something that everyone benefits from, and that's why we're all here. And so, I think, as a team, and I think as an organization, we've experienced high levels of success, and you could say we've had some great performances and great showings, and we hadn't found a way to win the game. So, in the end, I'm not going to think about how I performed first. I'll think about whether we won or we lost. Then I'll get to that and try and assess and see how I can improve and continue to pursue excellence in performance. But, nothing takes precedent over winning.
Thanks, Dylan.